Hey, it's PHILA, and you're watching PHILA TV, the ultimate YouTube channel. I'm no cinematographer, just a dude with a camera. All right, so I've showed you guys how I've pulled these pups and how I've propagated them and how I've cut off stumps and propagated those as well and how fast these little pups grow back. So we're going to take a look at what we do with them once they... And as much as I cut them down, they just keep growing back, which is a very good thing. And that's how I'm able to get so many of these. So I'm looking around and I think it's time to repot some of these, or at least clean them up, because you get the dirt inside here and then these start to rot down at the base. So you want to get these cleaned up so they dry out, kind of like this. These are a couple of my stumps that really didn't do, they were doing great, but then I transplanted them and they are still trying to come back. So we're going to put some decorative pots together that I could put around the patio. So stay tuned. Hope you guys like this video. I guess I should have had the camera rolling a little earlier, but got a lot of projects going on. I don't film everything. So I needed a couple of decorative pots, a couple of things to put on the patio that I'm putting together. And I have all these yuccas, so I figured I was going to plant these in different succession. So as you can see, these were the stumps that I propagated right here. And then there's some of the taller ones from a couple of years ago. And then these are the ones from last year, all different stages. So I figured I've got a good start on a couple of decorative pots for the patio. So I've taken some of these and I wanted to show you guys the kind of roots that we are establishing here. So this is a tall one that I cut and put in the dirt. Had it in a 1 gallon, moved it to a 5 gallon, and now I've taken it out and you can see the amount of roots that it's got going on. So this is one of the pups that I propagated a few months back. And as you can see, this too has its share of roots. So I'm going to put a tall one and a short one. And then this is one of my other yucca stumps that I've been working on that I've had it in a jar. And I think now it's time to move it into one of those 3-tiered pots. So, I'm not going to be able to get this out of the jar by pulling on it, so we're going to have to break this jar. So, we're going to have a little bit of dangerous fun here on PHILA TV. All right, let's get this set up. Okay, I guess there's real no way to do this. As you can see, I've got gravel at the bottom, as well as roots everywhere. And even though I kind of like this, and it looks good sitting in the window, I'd rather put it into one of these pots. So what I'm going to do is hold on to it, take my brick hammer, and try and break this glass without cutting myself. You guys get a look at that. Look at how the roots have just taken over. Have it in the sphagnum moss makes it nice and light and allows the roots to just really cut loose. Wow, that's crazy. And that just started with one of my little stumps. All right, so I'm going to set this down. I'm going to clean up the glass and the gravel, and then we're going to get these potted up. As you can see by this wet line, this is how much was buried under the dirt, and the roots start way at the bottom. So my idea is I want this to be as tall as possible. So I put some soil in the bucket, and I mean, these are things that are pretty resilient, so if you hurt a little bit of the roots, you're going to be okay. So I've got to try and get this in here. And all these roots I'm just going to push down in there and help stabilize it. And this one we're going to put over here. And the same thing, I'm going to peel back some of this to get this as tall as possible. You got to make sure you pack the soil in really good. And then we'll make room for this little guy right here. And while I'm at it, I'm going to pop all the bottom leaves off. As you can see, this has had some debris inside these leaf compartments. And what happens is that starts to rot. As you can see, it rots the leaves. So that's one of the reasons why we pull them. And this one's going to be planted pretty shallow because I want it to stick up. And then I'm just going to try and pack enough soil around it. So if we do get any winds, it's not going to knock it over. I don't know if you can see that, but look how nice those center leaves are there coming through. And then I'm going to fill it with wood chips for a couple of reasons. Sometimes it deters the squirrels. Sometimes not, but then you can also push and pack down the soil really good. And like I said, try and keep the debris out of these lower leaves. And that's how I'm going to make these look. And over in here is how I usually put them in threes so they fan out. And as you can see, this one's got some nice little pups going on it. We'll definitely come back to that. And there's another group of 3. Okay, that's it for the yucca video for today. We will keep an eye on these and watch them grow. Thanks for watching PHILA TV.